And sorry, I have a cold. But welcome to yet another episode of the Euroman movie report. And this time I am gonna talk about It. It is the long-awaited big screen adaptation of one of author Stephen King's masterpieces about the little town of Derry and a group of kids who are terrorized by this interdimensional monster which appears to them in among other forms as a clown. In 1990, this story was first put to screen as a ABC two-part miniseries with Tim Curry as Pennywise, but it was indeed scary for the time, and I was, as a kid, and so on. But in time, after having watched the miniseries as a kid, I must say it wasn't that scary anymore. So I went in to watch this movie, and in the role of Pennywise we have Bill Skarsgård, son of Stellan Skarsgård, and I must say that his performance, it was a bit different than Tim Curry's. It was more like a serial killer dressed up as a clown in many ways, and he was more a mystical than Tim Curry's portrayal. For instance, he was more we hear like when he in the beginning of the film talks to little Georgie, he says, "I'm Pennywise, the dancing clown," and we hear something which sounds like Tinkerbell from Peter Pan, and that makes the character a bit more mystical. But anyway, the setting of Derry, it's very beautifully shot. The movie is filmed in a town in Canada called Port Hope, and it's a very beautiful town. If I ever go to Canada, I wish I'm gonna go visit Port Hope, because it's very scenic city. And the kids who play the roles of the Losers Club, they do a really good job. Especially the guy the kid who plays Billy, and he's great at stuttering, but they are really good at portraying the terror of the confrontation with the monster. And what else is there to say? You can really feel that the production value has risen from the 1990 TV miniseries. And going into this film, I had a different. I haven't read the book, so I didn't have quite the feel what the whole thing meant. But it was like, in my opinion, we had these kids who all had their demons. We have Beverly, who has a very abusive father, and we had Eddie, who had his fears, and what was it where the kids were called? One moment, just have to look it up. One moment. Let's see here. We had the one kid with asthma who all the time he had to go, but then he also, and here's a spoiler of course, he gets his courage, and when he grows out of what his current situation is, and we have Beverly, of course, as I mentioned earlier. She stands up, or finally stands up to her abusive father, and we have the overweight kid who is used to, he knows a lot about history, but he's used to being bullied, and he also stands up to his demons. So in many ways, it is about that we have, if you succumb or you fight your demons, then you become a bigger person, and or I guess that's the whole moral of the story, in my opinion. But please let me know if you disagree. But all in all, the movie, is it scary? If you cannot stand blood, then it is scary. If you cannot stand jump scares, then it is scary. If you cannot stand clowns, then it is scary. But if you have grown out of being scared of clowns and jump scares and blood, then you will find it to be an interesting film with great casting, great effects, and it leaves open a couple of questions like if Henry Bowers, and here's a spoiler of course, if he dies in the end, we don't see him and he falls down this well, but you don't see his body. But if he dies in the end, who will they blame in the second film? Because this movie is of course called It Part 1. Who will they blame for the child and adult murders? And yeah, it leaves, as I said, it leaves open several questions, and I hope they will be answered in a part 2, which supposedly is gonna be released, if I remember correctly, 2019. So, but the most scary thing about this movie wasn't the killer clown. It was this I just have to put it on my phone over here. It was this fat guy in front of me. He was in the row in the theater. Every time the clown came onto screen, he went like, and then every time the kids were in danger, he was laughing. So he was more scary when what was going on screen. He seemed like an escaped mental patient or something like that. But yeah, but I survived. So anyway, if I'm gonna rate it, I will give it 4 out of 5 stars. That's it, Euroman of Euroman's Movie Report. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, if you liked this movie talk / movie review, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to watch my previous reviews / movie talks, you can click a link in the description. But I will return next week with another movie review, this time of American Assassin. Until then, have a pleasant weekend, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.